to have our asynchronous activity because we will be attending orientation to the different clinical areas wherein we are assigned. And then in the afternoon, we still have another activity, virtual activity, research development activity for the clinical instructors. So we will just give instruction for tomorrow, no, kung anong gagawin. And then September 10, that will be our face-to-face. We will be in school. We will be giving you the corresponding room assignments kasi may mga room assignments po tayo for every section. So for every group, okay, you just wait for the announcement from your clinical instructors. Now, duty days, this will be starting next week, which is September 15. But then as we talked earlier, 15 will be your examination week ninyo kasi yan eh. So 15, 16, 17, okay? Then 22, 23, these are the duty days. Okay? So duty days natin po yan, pero most likely, if they will not allow us to go on duty and then you come back to school for the examination, then definitely, second week, so morning will be virtual, okay, classes, and then in the afternoon, you will have your examination. So Saturday, definitely, that will be whole day, virtual. Because in community health nursing, the health centers are only open from Mondays to Friday. Okay, we don't have any clinic during Saturday. So yan yung medyo masaklap kapag THFS tayo. Meanwhile, kung MTW, so open po ang health centers natin mula Monday hanggang Wednesday. So 22, 23, yun na yung mag-face-to-face po tayo sa ating corresponding clinical area. Okay, but then September 24, 29, and 30, that will be your defense. So nakita nyo na ngayon ang schedule natin. So kung 22, 23, yan po yung day na nag-face-to-face tayo. So 2 araw lang yan siya. Sa 24th, CP na po natin. Okay, defense na. So 2 araw lang for our face-to-face with the client in the community. Okay, so I hope this is clear to everyone. This is our schedule. So if there would be any changes regarding whether it will be done virtually or it will be done, okay, in the clinical area, we're just going to wait for further announcement from the coordinator. So what is the course objective of this rotation? So at the end of the rotation, the students will be able to apply knowledge, skills, and attitude essential in caring for a mother, child, and family in the community setting. So if you can remember, we have different levels of clientele in the community, and that would include not just individuals, but families, the community in general. Okay, we can serve also certain group or group aggregates, no, if we are in our community health nursing rotation. Now, for this particular rotation, NCM 204, okay, your CHN1, what we are going to look in the clinical area will be a family with a pregnant mother. Okay, so our focus is a family with a pregnant mother. Okay, so, and then we will not be conducting only individual assessment, but the entire family. So the family will serve as our main client, no, for this particular rotation. So here you're going to definitely apply all of the knowledge that you have learned in the classroom. So as what I have said, the corresponding counterpart ng ating NCM 204 RLE will be your NCM 204 lecture. So yun yung nile-lecture ni Mami Grino ninyo, ni Ma'am Fronteras ninyo. Okay, so I believe they are your teachers for NCM 204. So the very first part of the topic being discussed will be all about family, right? Tama ba ako, students? So lahat ng theoretical aspect, even sa lecture, will be put into application. So you're going to apply now your skills in terms of, let's say, data gathering. There are also some procedures that we need to perform. Now we have to consider also application of the necessary attitude, behavior, once we are at the clinical area. So we have to remember, we are dealing, okay, with the people in the community. It's totally different if we are in the hospital, wherein we focus only on our individual patient. But sometimes, yes, of course, we need to include the family because there are watchers. But then eto talaga mismo, buong family po. Okay? And then since pupunta tayo ng community, therefore, as what I have said, it's very important that we try to consider also the different therapeutic techniques in communication. So we have to be very careful in terms of asking questions, conducting the interview with the family members, okay, and even just responding to some of the queries of the people in the community, particularly the family. So in asking questions, medyo dahan-dahan tayo, see to it that it is done in a tactful manner. So para baka naman makakos tayo ng hurt feelings sa ating family, especially in data gathering, whenever we give health education to the family. So dito natin matetest talaga, no, kung ano yung natutunan natin inside the classroom. So we will put everything into application in this rotation. So despite the fact that we're going to have only 2 days face-to-face, no? So interaction with our families. Now, these are the requirements for this rotation. So we will be talking about your duty uniform. I don't know if everyone already obtained their uniform from the various affiliated ng mga seamstress natin. So type C po tayo. Lahat na po ba merong type C? Paki-thumbs up po kung may type C na po ba kayo lahat. So not everyone. So nakikita ko yung iba, nakalingo-lingo. So meaning wala pa nakuha ilang type C uniform. Now, if you don't have your type C uniform, you still need to wear yung sinuot ninyo during our preclinical rotation. Naka-jeans kayo, then you're going to have your white t-shirt. Okay, naka-rubber shoes kayo. So still the same outfit you are going to wear at the clinical area or even during the face-to-face in school. However, if the uniform type C is now available, so on hand na po ito, then you need to wear your type C uniform. Okay, what about 2P? Can I hear somebody from 2P? Mr. Gestosani?
Yes po, ma'am. I did not get my wala pa pang message from the tailoring shop, ma'am.
Okay, ano ito? Per section ba? Kung anong tailoring kayo na-assign? Isang ano lang?
Yes po, ma'am. The section was based on our first year sections po.
Okay, so wala pang nakakuha kahit isa sa 2P?
Nakuha ko na po akin, ma'am.
Okay, what about 2R? Sino po yung inyong anong tailoring po kayo na-assign?
Sa De La Torre po, meron
Oh.
pong iba nakakuha na po ng uniform, tas yung iba kay wala pa.
Wala pa. Sige, yung mga nakakuha na, I know you are excited to wear it, then you have to wear it. Okay? During our face-to-face, no? So, susuot na ninyo yan. So, yung iba, yung wala pa, antay-antay lang muna tayo for the release of your uniform. So, there's nothing we can do about it because they are not yet ready to give it to us. So, lang tayo, have patience. Anyway, you will be accepted even if you are not wearing the type C uniform. So, these are the paraphernalias that you need to bring. Of course, the jot down notebook, I think you still have it with you. So, kung puno na yon during the preclinical rotation, then you have to purchase another one. So, still we need 3 colored pens. Although in the clinical area for community health nursing, we don't have color coding, but still we need to check for the 3 colored pens, blue, black, and red. Of course, needed po natin ang ating sphygmomanometer. Okay, stethoscope, because as mentioned kanina ng isang PCI, very common in the clinical area would be people who would like to know about their blood pressure. So you need to bring your sphygmomanometer, your stethoscope, digital thermometer. So especially if there would be activity in the health center, so we're going to take the vital signs of the mother. Kasi Thursday man tayo, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Activity for Thursday would be prenatal checkup. So included po doon, kunin natin ang blood pressure, kunin natin ang kanilang body temperature, the weight of the patient, so things like that, no? Therefore, we will be needing this equipment. Next is your band-aid scissors, your nail cutter. Di ba sabi sa inyo, you're going to attach your nail cutter to your band-aid scissor. So I hope by now, yung mga na-mention ko, prepared na po. During pre-clin, some of which are not yet available, but I hope this time it's already complete. Pen light, your disposable gloves, your tape measure. Now, etong pinaka-importante po talaga, long umbrella. Okay? Now, only black or blue. We don't have the umbrella, yung official from San Pedro College. So it's all right that you are going to purchase this long umbrella outside San Pedro College, no? Basta ang kulay lang po either black or blue. Okay, yung mahaba na umbrella. Ngayon, ay need talaga natin ito. Sobrang mainit sa labas. We need to protect ourselves. At the same time, sabi ni Mr. Kasumo kanina, this can serve as our protection just in case there will be dogs, no? Who will be chasing us doon sa community. Meron din tayong panangga. Okay, madaming mga aso doon. So yun po yung purpose ng ating umbrella, not just for protection against sunlight, rain, but at the same time, protection against any harm that could be done by our stray dogs. Okay? Doon po sa community. So lahat po ba may payong na? Nakabili na po? Thumbs up daw. Wala pa yung nakapalit og payong. Miss Royo, may payong ka na. Ayan, nag-thumbs up si Miss Royo. So I hope by now, nag-purchase na kayo ng inyong mga long umbrella. Okay? Black or blue, wag yung very colorful na maraming mga prints. Just a plain long umbrella. Either black or blue lang po ang kulay natin. And you need disposable face mask. So kanina, na-mention ni Mong Fuentes, okay, whatever may happen, if the wearing of mask will be lifted, it will be voluntary, but definitely we need to wear our mask, okay? We need to protect ourselves. So as much as possible, yung makapal po na mask ang gamitin natin kasi hindi natin alam ang mga cases dyan sa community. All right? So baka meron sa kanila, they are already manifesting signs and symptoms, but they do not know that they have already the virus. So we need to protect ourselves. So bring extra mask na rin po. Siguro SOP na yan, no? Now, this CHN bag, this is optional, no? What we need to get from the laboratory, we just need to borrow the biosticks because for this rotation, since we are going to look for a family with a pregnant mother, one of the things that we need to perform is to conduct our urine testing. Now, the urine testing that we will be doing, we are just going to make use of our reagent strip. So the brand is Biosticks. We're just going to borrow it from the laboratory. So one per subgroup. Okay? Bit na lang kayo ng pouch na maliit. So lagay na lang natin doon yung ating Biosticks container. Of course, you will be needing, sabi nga, may gloves tayo na kailangan dito because we are going to handle urine of the patient. And of course, okay, yun lang po. Wala naman siguro alcohol, no? If you are going to disinfect your hands, you will be using your alcohol para mabilis lang po tayo. So, i-dip lang naman natin yung strip doon po sa specimen. And then, we're just going to compare the color. Anyway, there's a video on how to perform our bag technique. That if we are going to bring our CHN bag. Okay? Kasi dapat sana magbibit-bit tayo ng CHN bag. Pero napaka-short lang naman ng ating stay doon sa community. We will not be there for a very long period of time. Therefore, okay na itong per subgroup, meron kayong biosticks. Okay? May alcohol at may working gloves po tayo. Next is your clearance slip. Yes,
Ma'am Jack,
ma'am.
singit ako.
Yes, ma'am.
With regards to the urine test, I would like to remind them, yung specimen bottle, magdala kayo. Okay,
Yes.
para paano sa kanila, baka kasi, baka wala silang lalagyan doon na malinis para sa ating test.
Correct, no? That's one thing that you need to purchase prior to our entry doon sa clinical area po. Kasi nga magbibigay tayo ng instructions sa mother for them to save their urine. Early in the morning, they have to clean first their genitals, and then wala pa silang breakfast, midstream catch, okay, we have to instruct them. Therefore, we need to provide, okay, specimen container. Naman na, mapalit lang man na siya sa mga drugstore. So, you can purchase. Pwede siguro dalawa. May extra kayo, just in case madaming buntis doon, may standby tayo, hopefully, pero kasi noon, minsan, pag nagkaroon na kami ng parang nag-agree na kami ng isang buntis, ma'am, balikan ka na mo dali ma'am, ani ma'am, tagaan na mo sila specimen container. Now, the following day, hindi mo na makita si buntis. Nag-agree lang, yun pala, the following day, hindi na siya magpakita. Ayaw na niya kaming i-entertain. So may backup kaming isa. So minsan dalawa, kung madami talagang buntis, okay. So yung isa, standby lang yon, iti-test pa rin natin. Anyway, madali lang naman ang procedure. But we have to choose between the two, which one is more cooperative, more receptive, okay, to all of the health education, the teachings that we are going to give. Or sino rin yung masyadong nangangailangan, okay? So, minsan kung sino pa yung nangangailangan, sila pa ang matigas ang ulo, ayaw nila sa atin. I don't know why. Kung sino tong medyo arang-arang gamay, sila tong very accommodating. Okay, opposite ang mga responses, no, ng family sa community. That's why you need to prepare yourself. Baka ma-frustrate kayo. Ay, ngita na po taglaing buntis. Kaya di na makitaan si buntis. Or tulog-tulugan ang drama. Kahit magnaka doon sa kanilang door, nandun lang sila sa loob, but they will not respond to you anymore. Okay? So yun, thank you for that, Ma'am Shari. Nakalimutan ko si specimen container. So pili na kayo niyan. Next, requirements. Okay, these one are the requirements, no, that you have to comply for this rotation. So kanina yung paraphernalia, those are the things that you need to bring. Now, for the requirements, you will be submitting your ARAS notebook. So ang ARAS, ARS nandun din siya dapat, no? Kaya lang, lain po kayo, ARS. So, ARAS ang tawag natin. But actually, the entry, no, of all the information that you will be written for your ARAS notebook would be, kaya ARS siya because you're going to write there your aims, A for aims, A for activities. What are your activities for the day? Then letter R, this will be your reflection, and letter S for sharing. Okay? So we will discuss, okay, thoroughly what will be the content of this ARAS. Okay? Basta yun po yung meaning ng ARAS po. Aims, activities, reflection, and then you will have your sharing. Okay? Then another requirement would be your family case study. So ito yung banata natin doon, gathering of information so that we can come up with our family case study. Ngaron, dili na ta mag-case scenario. Okay? Tinuod na ni siya. So sa preclinical rotation, it's a little bit difficult because we have limited data even, no? Because that is just a created scenario. But this time, reality na po talaga ito. We will have the family. We're going to gather information directly from the family members. One reading for this rotation. So most likely the reading that will be given to you will be all about the different communicable diseases or child preventable, okay, diseases. So very common, yung mga measles, ganyan. So yun po yung ibibigay namin na reading so that it will be related as well to our rotation. And quizzes will be given. So, you know, we are very generous with quizzes, especially with the numbers of our PCIs. So from time to time, there will be quizzes given. Okay, so it's going to be announced or unannounced. You just need to prepare yourself every day because there will be quizzes. And of course, you've experienced this one, shifting examination. So before the rotation ends, last day po ng CP in the afternoon, we're going to have our shifting exam. So 50 items lang po ito. Now, the coverage will be all about the rotation. So yan po ang binibigay natin. So yan po ang mga requirements for this particular rotation. Now, for the grading system, our bases are the following. Of course, we need to have your ARAS notebook. Ay, sorry. I-run through ko lang pala. ARAS, reading, quizzes, shifting, examination, family case study, and then you have your clinical experience performance evaluation sheet. So we're going to show to you what is the content of this clinical experience performance evaluation sheet. So I think ito yung meron tayo dito sa Funda Lab, di ba, Ma'am Shari? Or may difference ba? The same lang gamitin natin, no? Because mag face-to-face naman. So we will show to you so that you can check naman how are you going to be evaluated. Yes, Ma'am Sha?
Yeah, same lang yan, gamitin natin yung sa sa Funda.
Okay. Sige. Given
The actual patient naman tayo.
Oo. So bibigyan kayo ng kopya nito isa-isa, okay? And then before you fill up your complete name, affix your signature, okay? At yung sa back part ng ating performance evaluation sheet. Huwag kayo magbilog-bilog doon, kaya kami na ang mag-rate po sa inyo. Okay? So basahin ninyo para alam ninyo ano ang basis, no? for evaluating your performance. So at least you still have how many days, no, to show your corresponding capabilities, no, so that you can obtain a high score. So criteria for computation of community health nursing experience. So that performance using the evaluation tool will be 50%. Family case study is 20%. Your quizzes, 10%. Shifting examination will be 10%. Your reading, 5%. Your ARAS notebook will be 5%. So a total of 100%. Okay, questions for this one? You can have a screenshot of the criteria for the computation of your final grade for community health nursing rotation. So CHN1 or NCM204 RLE. Yan po yung grade po natin. Diyan po natin i-place. Now, for the ARAS notebook, we need to have a specific criteria for this one. Now, format is 10%. So you need to follow the correct format. Okay, we will be discussing how it will be done. The content of your ARAS notebook, 70%, neatness 10%, promptness 10%. So total 100% po. Okay, yung ating ARAS notebook. So for the ARAS notebook, ito pag-usapan natin. So at least 50 leaves notebook. This is handwritten. Okay? So our format are as follows. Ang first page, do not write anything that will serve as your cover page. Second page will be your title page. O, lagay nyo lang doon, ARAS. Okay? Impartial fulfillment of the requirements on NCM 204 RLE. Okay? So, yan lang ilagay ninyo doon. So, CHN rotation. Then, after that one, you have to write submitted to. Okay? Then, you also have to write the names of your corresponding PCIs submitted by Chn Rle Judy. Okay? BSN2P, anong group ka po? Group or subgroup 1 ba? O anong naka-indicate na group sa iyo? So that will be for our title page. Now, the third page will be for the criteria. Ito ang isusulat ninyo. Okay? Give us this space because dito kami maglalagay ng inyong mga rating po. That is for the third page. Now, the fourth page would be your personal profile. Okay? Pwede kayo maglagay ng picture ninyo. Huwag naman yung mura po sa Bisaya pa, pinakakusga na picture katong sa studio pag yun, during your debut. Huwag na, sayang na yun masyado. So, pwede naman kayo mag-print lang ng picture ninyo. Okay, you have to place it at the upper right-hand corner. And then, you start with parang slam book ba? Okay? So, what is your name? Okay, your birth date, your age. Okay? So, kayo po ang gagawa ng inyong personal profile. I think the PCIs too will be requiring the students to submit a personal profile. So, they can give instructions for uniformity. So, the same requirements that they will be asking from you will also be the format. No? Pwede rin natin i-suggest na ganun na lang ang magiging format ng inyong personal profile. Okay, students, questions so far? Handwritten po ang ating ARAS notebook. Okay? So, yan po. Then, after that one, succeeding pages na po tayo. So, you need to write a general objectives of the experience. So, this is done weekly. Okay? Like, kagaya ngayong week na ito, kung papagawa na tayo ng ARAS, you need to have your general objectives. And then, specific objectives of the experience daily. So day 1, ano ang mga specific objectives ninyo for the day? Okay? So remember the difference between the two when we say general objectives. Okay, napaka-broad po ng statement na ito. But then if it is specific objectives, therefore we need to follow the corresponding criteria that it should be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bounded po ang ating specific objectives. So, you will be given, ahead of time, an idea what will be the activity for the day so that you can also relate, the specific objectives that you are going to write. Kuha po. And then, this will be followed by your daily plan of activities. So, daily plan of activities, you are going to present it in a tabular manner. Table, kagaya nito. You're just going to indicate, on the first column, the time, O, halimbawa ito, 7 to 7:15. What's the activity? So checking of the attendance, paraphernalia, and completeness of uniform. So let's say, for example, this activity from 7 to 7:15. 7:15, let's say, for example, 7:30, nag-exercise tayo. Okay, Zumba exercises. Next na naman. So ano na naman ang activity po? So mula 7:30, okay, hanggang, let's say, for example, 7:40, okay? So unsa ba na siya? That's the time that we transported to the clinical area, or we go for, let's say, we ride the public utility vehicle on our way to the clinical area. Then sunod-sunod na yan siya hanggang mag-end po ang ating day. So ibig sabihin, we will start at 7, we're going to end up at exactly 3 p.m. So ano yung mga activities? Isusulat po natin lahat doon. So in between, of course, you need to write break time. Kunyari, mga 9, break time ba yan, lunch break, tapos na-presume na naman ng 1, anong gagawin na naman for 1. So, write of all of those activities. Okay? So, yan po ang ginagawa natin. Next, after, okay, tapos na tayo sa aims, diba? If you can remember, for the aims, weekly, general objective, daily, specific objectives. Activities, you know already how to write it. Okay, you have the time and the corresponding activity that will be in tabular manner. So nasa R na po tayo. So for R, that will be your reflection. So what are you going to do? You're going to evaluate, no, the previously set specific objectives for the day. Okay, so evaluate po natin yun if na-achieve po ba or hindi yung ating na-set na mga objectives sa araw na yun. Let's say, for example, if you have written right there, to conduct urine testing. O, let's say, to conduct accurate urine testing to the pregnant client. Unya, wala dito ang buntis. So, you're going to evaluate, no, those previously set objectives. So, you have to write it down under letter R. So, evaluate the objectives and you have to write down your reflection. Okay, so what are your insights, no, pertaining to the experience that you had, okay, for that particular day. Okay? So anong masasabi mo? Like for example, it's our first time to go to the community, then you have to write down your reflection as well. So, yun po, reflection of the experiences of the day has to be written along with the evaluation. So dito, medyo mahaba-haba ng konti because you will be talking about your realization for the day. Okay? So, reflection, insights, o ano pang mga personal experience ninyo that might be related, okay, to what you have right now and what have you learned out of this activity, okay? How you feel about the activity. So things like that, no? So mga personal insights po ninyo sa buong araw na yan. Isusulat po natin under reflection. R po yan. So after ng R, S na tayo, di ba? So sa S, there are times we're in, okay, pag marami tayo masyadong oras, we are going to do sharing of the aras. Okay, halimbawa, si Miss Sokal dito is going to share, okay, her aras, no, for that particular day. So, mag-share si Miss Sokal dito, babasahin niya, okay, ano yung mga objectives niya, ano yung naging activity, and then babasahin, i-evaluate niya, and then maglalagay din siya ng kanyang reflection. So the rest of the members who are listening, so you have to write down, no, kung ano yung mga insights na napulot mo rin doon sa sharing ni Miss Sokal dito. That is for the sharing portion. Yun sana yung ino-note mo doon. Okay? So usually, yun sa may mga common statement, I realized how lucky am I compared to the people in the community wherein they are deprived with. Okay, mga ganyan-ganyan yung usually yung mga statement ng mga student. They value now the kind of life that was provided by them by their parents. How lucky you are living in a, let's say, concrete building with all the amenities or whatsoever, only to find out if you are in the community with, yan yung mga usual, mga statement ng mga student, no? Yun yung mga realization nila initially. Okay? So, yan po. So, maglalagay kayo doon pag nag-share na si Miss Sokal dito. Ano naman yung napulot ninyo doon sa sharing ni Miss Sokal dito? Then, we're going to call another one na naman. O, halimbawa, ang mag-share si Miss Arubio na naman. Okay, for the second day, Miss Arubio will be sharing, okay, her aras. So, makinig na naman yung iba. And then you're going to write also what you have learned from the sharing of Miss Arubio. Okay, under S. Klaro, students? Hoy, klaro ba? Yan po yung sa ARS natin. Wala na po bang tanong? Randy, Ernest?
None so far po, ma'am.
None so far. All right. Gandahan ninyo ang mga reflection ninyo. Okay? Para maganda din ang mga grades ninyo. But then there's no right or wrong reflection, ha? So hindi kami magsabi, ay mali man ito, Miss Villaraza, ang reflection mo. It should be like, no, that is your personal experience, okay? Personal insight. So wala talaga pong mali doon sa reflection. Okay? So, pero kung wala po dito yung nasulat, I learned a lot today, period. Okay? Yung iba din, masyadong honest din sila kung anong naramdaman nila. Okay? Masyado daw mainit doon sa community, mga ganun-ganung mga bagay ang kanilang, well. So, depende na po no, sa content ng inyong reflection. Now, let's proceed to the family case study. So, ang FCS po. So, how are you going to be graded for the family case study? So, for the written FCS, this is going to be the criteria. Kasi may written, meron ding oral. Yung oral, yung checklist na yun siya. Oral presentation that is done individually. So, 50-50 kasi ito. Written FCS, 50% po ang kukunin natin dito. Group grade po ito. So, for every group, you are going to be divided into 3 subgroups. So usually mga 6 siguro kayo in one subgroup. So kunyari 20, okay, i-divide kayo into 3 subgroups. So you were going to compose all the content of this as a group. You will be working on this. So for the content, it will be 80%. Mamaya may breakdown po ano ang content ng ating family case study. Promptness is 5%. So napakadaling i-earn ng 5% po. You submit your work on time. Now, references will be 5%. You follow APA format. Neatness, 5%. The format will be 5%. Total of 100%. Okay? Kung halimbawa, naka-90 kayo dito, we're going to get 50% of that 90, which is 45. So, yung other 50% will be coming from your oral presentation. So, wherein may checklist po tayo doon. Kung medyo pangit yung oral presentation mo, halimbawa ang grade mo 80 lang o di 40. So, ang kalahati doon. So, 40 plus 45, your final grade would be 85. So, the grade of the students will vary because you don't have the same oral presentation grade. Okay? Only the manuscript, you will have the same grade all throughout your group or subgroup rather. So, this is the breakdown criteria for the content of the family case study. So, eto po yun sequentially. Eto po yung makikita natin dapat sa FCS ninyo. Okay, first, there should be introduction and objectives. Okay, that is 5%. So, later on, sasabihin namin, okay, merong slide dito telling you what to write in your intro. Obviously, sa objectives, may general objectives kayo and you need to have specific objectives as well. Okay, klaro po ba? So, introduction, general objectives, and then you have your specific objectives. Okay? And then this will be followed by your initial database. Do you have this one already, your IDB? So, nag-provide na po ba ang teachers ninyo nito? So, yung initial database, yun yung 5 categories of data that you are going to gather, okay, from the family. So, don't you worry, magbibigay rin kami ng guide sa inyo. Yun yung Family Assessment Guide. We call it FAG. Para pag interview ninyo, mabilis na lang po tayo. You just need to fill it up. Okay? So, first doon is, let's say for example, ang sa inyong initial database. Okay? So, like for example, the data that you are going to gather will be all about home environment, okay, and cultural characteristics. So, meron na po doong mga guide, okay, na questions, not necessarily questions, but then these are specific information, no, na naka-table na po, yun po yung itatanong natin from the family, okay? So, pero kung ako, mas gusto ko yung nasundan ko itong initial database so that I will not miss anything. Okay? So, mag-start man yan siya sa family structure, characteristics, and dynamics. So, you have to write there the members. So, who are their names, their age, their sex, mga ganyan po. Okay? Or gender. Okay? Yun po yung mga sequence po natin. So, ang IDB, if it is complete, that will be 20%. Now, next would be family developmental task. I know you are familiar with this one. Tapos na kayo nag-lecture nito, yung kay Evelyn Duval. Now, you need to determine what is the age of the eldest child, and that will be your basis for determining, okay, what is the developmental stage of the family. Beginning family ba sila? Okay, bagong kasal? Okay, buntis yung babae or ano ba? May toddler ba? May preschooler ba? So, you have this one in your lecture. Tama po ba? The presentation of the family developmental task, ibibigay ko later on, no? So what will be the format? How will you come up with your write-ups for your family developmental task? And of course, your genogram. Tapos na tayo nito sa ating preclinical rotation. I think you had enough already of this genogram. So nagbigay na ng input sa inyo, ang CI ninyo, PCIs ninyo, on how you are going to improve it. Right? So 3 generations po should be reflected in your genogram. So this time you have real patience, therefore there's no reason for you to say na, ma'am, wala man gud mi kay balo sa maternal side, paternal lang man ni ma'am, wala. Ngayon, kompletohin na po ninyo ang inyong genogram. So remember, if we have illustrations like this, it will always be followed with a narrative discussion below. So it's not enough that you have the illustration, you have the legends. Without any write-ups below, kulang po yun. So there should be explanation behind that illustration that you are going to make. So next is your eco map. Marunong na ba kayo nito, students? So may sample din po tayo dito. Now, this one, you need to identify, no? Okay, the relationship of the entire family with the social environment. Okay, we need to determine what are those different existing, let's say, networks, whether it's formal, informal, that is existing within the community. Now, how is the relationship of the family among these existing, let's say, for example, facilities, no? So formal networks, okay, health services, okay, there is the presence of the nearest healthcare facility, particularly health center, okay? So what is the relationship? Okay, do they usually visit the health center whenever they would have problems? Or the surprise ang family ay na the health center diya, wala, ni kabalo, okay? Or talagang wala. So makikita nyo din doon. So may illustration din ako dito on how you are going to come up with your eco map. And then this one requires also narrative discussion. So it's not enough that you have the drawing, mga bilog-bilog, mga lines and all, but you need to discuss it. Okay? So para malaman natin anong ibig sabihin ng inyong mga illustration. Next is your family coping index. All right? Here we're going to rate the coping of the family. We need to determine if there is a coping deficit. There are 9 areas. Okay? You're going to give an admission rating, and then you have also your discharge rating. Okay, so dalawa ang ibibigay ninyo na rating nito. So admission and then discharge rating. So medyo difficult kasi nagkita lang kayo ngayon, the following day evaluate nyo na, parang we don't have that enough time, no, talaga, no, if that is the case. Kasi bigyan natin ng kaunting panahon, magbibigay pa kasi tayo ng health education. So maybe after 2, 3 home visits, then we can have already our evaluation. But with the limited number of our exposure at the clinical area, parang mahirap, no? Depende, tingnan natin kung ano kaya mangyayari. But then we need to do this family coping index. And then the prioritization of the problems. Ideally, now every group or subgroup, once you have already your family, you need to identify 10 health problems. Okay, 10 health problems sa isang family. But then, depende na lang siguro sa CI. I don't know, we can be flexible because per subgroup, you need to formulate lang naman 3 FNCPs. Now, kung limited jud kayo ang kuan, baka pwedeng 5 problem na lang ang i-identify nila and then they have to prioritize it. So, let's see. But then the required number of problems that you have to identify will be 10. 10 po talaga yan. And then we have our corresponding criteria kasi may scoring po ito. Okay? Hindi po lahat ng problem a-address natin agad-agad, no? Now, we have to prioritize according to the score. So, dito marireveal ano ang number 1, number 2, and so on and so forth. So, supposedly, out of 5, the first top 5 no, on the prioritization will be given. We will be formulating an FNCP. But in your case, 3 lang daw po na FNCP ang gagawin ng bawat subgroup. So, mas kukonte na lang yung inyong ipo-formulate. So, mangyayari nito by pair na naman kayo. 1 FNCP, there will be 2 students, okay, coming from the same subgroup. Nakuha? So, eto, siguro, I don't know kung tapos na kayo nitong scoring nito. Sige lang, we'll just try to go over, try to review kung tapos na. Kung hindi pa, makinig lang din. Kasi nga, na-understand namin, hindi kakayanin talaga ng lecture teachers ninyo to cover all of this. Masyadong mahaba. And next will be your family nursing care plan, which is 25% of your grade. Medyo malaki, no? So, 25% po ito ng grading nyo sa family case study. Okay? Hindi naman ganun kahirap ang family nursing care plan compared to your individual NCPs. This does not require rationale anymore. However, you need to be very specific with the interventions that you are going to write. And you need to make use of your critical thinking for you to decide, okay, what is the health problem, what is the family nursing problem of the family. Then, of course, you have your health teachings. That will be 10%. So there is a separate entry for all of the health teachings that you have rendered to the family concerning the various problems that was identified. So, kunyari, may nakita kayong problem about home and environment, we have nutrition, ganyan. So, what are your specific health teachings? And then, you have to write also what's the implication of this family case study to research, so to nursing practice, and then to nursing education. So what's the implication of your family case study in those areas? Okay? So medyo mahaba-haba na, no, compared doon sa pre-clean ninyo, wherein you wrote only your physical assessment. So eto, mahaba na talaga siya, no? Totoong family case study na po ito, mas lalo pang hahaba pagdating ninyo sa inyong individual patients once you are already in the hospital setting. Okay, mild pa ni gamay, ganun siya na requirements. And kayang-kaya ninyo ito. So, total po niyan is 100%. So, this is how you're going to come up with the format of your family case study. Cover page, okay, you will be needing to have your title page. Okay? So, ano na namang isusulat sa taas? Hindi na physical assessment. Family case study in partial fulfillment of the requirements on NCM 204 RLE, Community Health Nursing Rotation, and then pangalan ng CI, pangalan po ng inyong PCI, pangalan ninyo, and then date of submission. So this time, long bond paper na po ito. Okay, so siguro may mga corresponding reminders below. Then after the cover page, you need to write your table of contents, and then you're going to write your introduction. All right. So ito, must be 1.5 page, should give an overview of the following. What is the rotation that you have right now? So it's community health nursing. Okay, so what is community health nursing then? So, kinakailangan, these are the content that you should be including in your intro. You talk about, you introduce what is the rotation you are currently in. Okay? So, what is the case of your patient? No, it's not patient, but the family. So, why family? Ano bang corresponding, okay, role ng family sa community, right? So, what is a family? So, yan, i-discuss. So, what is CHN? So, siguro, you have to define it according to the different authors. According to Freeman, CHN is blah, 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 like that. So, in community health nursing, we serve, okay, different clients. So, one of which is a family. A family is ganito, ano ang definition ng family. Now, what is in that family that you have, no, that actually gets your attention. Let's say, for example, so i-introduce mo na ngayon ano yung meron dun sa family na yon. So let's say, for example, what if meron silang family member, okay, who is pregnant and let's say, for example, a teenager. Okay, so high risk siya, no, na pagbubuntis. Okay, so teenage pregnancy. Now, you can incorporate statistics regarding teenage pregnancy. Okay? So, locally, nationally, and then globally. Okay? Nakuha po ninyo? So, yun po yung ilalagay po natin doon sa ating introduction. Ma'am Sha, meron ka bang add-on, Ma'am Sha, for intro?
Yung implications dito ba sa ano or sa last na?
Yes, ang implication sa last na yun
Yes.
siya, ma'am.
Sa last siya, hindi siya dito nilagay sa
Hindi
ano.
siya nilagay
Okay.
dito.
Okay, sige.
Okay. So, ang implication separate po. So, most likely, this will be your introduction. Okay? So, yan po yung content ng intro po natin. And then, of course, you have goals and objectives to be written. So, as what I have said, you have to follow the SMART criteria, no? So, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bounded specific objective. So, you have your overall goal. After the introduction, ano po yung general objective ng grupo ninyo for formulating this family case study? And then what are your specific objectives for this family case study? So you have to write it down as well. Okay, so it should reflect, no? So areas like mga cognitive, affective, psychomotor, alam nyo na yan, di ba? So knowledge, skills, attitude. So this reflects cognitive, affective, psychomotor areas. Di ba nandiyan yan sa ating health education? Okay, so remember, if it is specific objectives, you always need to use behavioral terms. Verb po ang gagamitin natin. Huwag kayong maglalagay that, okay, to understand, mga ganyan. Hindi pwede po yan. Pwede yan siya for goal. Okay, we, the BSN, for a subgroup, okay, pwedeng ganyan. Okay, would like to, let's say, develop our understanding in ganyan-ganyan. Pero pag specific objectives na po, hindi po pwede yung ganong klaseng term. Napaka-broad po nun, gamitin natin behavioral terms. Verb usually, no, ang ginagamit sa first talaga. As the first word when we are going to formulate our specific objectives. So, anyway, so tapos na po si intro, followed by the goals, specific objectives. Now, we are going to start with your initial database. So, IDB, ito na yung tool provided, yung FACPO or Family Assessment Guide. Okay? So, nakasunod-sunod na po yan siya doon sa inyong Family Assessment Guide. Now, under IDB, ito po yung mga categories of data. Meron din po ito nakaspecify sa mga copies ninyo. Wherein, you will start with family structure and characteristics. And dynamics as well. So naaman na siya rin, naman may guide ana. Okay, members of the household, relationship to the head of the family, so their age, ganyan, place of residence. So pwedeng itong mga names ng inyong family members, you can have it done in a tabular manner. So naka-table po ito, lahat ng information na ito. But the rest, you have to do it or you have to formulate in a narrative manner. Okay? So, narrative po. So, may IDB na ba lahat, students? Yan ang isang kailangan na bitbitin natin sa clinical area. So, kung wala pa, don't you worry kasi magbibigay po kami. So, yan po ang mga question natin. The place of residence of each member, type of family structure, ganyan, who is the dominant family member in decision making, and then general family relationship. Okay? Dynamics of the family. So, sometimes you need not to ask, okay? Kung nandun tayo, makikita naman talaga natin how they treat each other. But then, if it requires for us to be asked, no, kay wala man, ang plano manggod karon is, as much as possible, initially, doon lang tayo sa clinic mag-conduct ng interview with the pregnant mother. So Thursday, that will be a perfect day na mag-conduct tayo, makakuha tayo ng client natin because that is prenatal day. Buntis man natong kailangan. Pag adto ni buntis sa clinic, then atuan na dayon siyang hangyoon. Ma'am, magpaila-ila na ta sa iya ha. Ma'am, ako di ay si Randy Ernest. Okay, diri mi na-assign sa Mini Forest Health Center. Okay, kanang ma'am, isa sa mga tabang nga among mahatag diri sa community, ma'am, kay mag-conduct mi og study sa pamilya nga dunay buntis. Okay, pwede ba, ma'am? Okay nga makuha ka na mo. So, syempre, with the recommendation of the barangay health worker, kay isod kayo, munang problem, di ba, Ma'am Puentes? Mingulag, asa inyo, ma'am? Nalang diha, pag muingog diha, pirti na dahil layo Imagine 3 subgroups, good mo. Magtuyok-tuyok ka dito sa kuhan. Kung pwede lang yung medyo nearby lang, and then magkalapit lang sana sila as much as possible. Okay? So, initially, pag mo-agree kayo dayon si Buntis, sugod na dayon taog interview. Therefore, paano ninyo, i-prepare na ninyo inyong mga sarili, mag-tasking na ta. So we will talk about it when we are going to meet per group, no? So basta, you need your IDB po. So pagkatapos ng family structure characteristics, na narrative discussion, proceed na po sa socio-economic. Kani, medyo delicate ang mga questions kay pertaining to income ba ni siya. Unsay trabaho sa family, pila ang income sa family, then you have to compare pila ilang expenses, magkasya ba ito or hindi. Careful tayo sa pagtatanong regarding this particular information. So, magkuan yun tani, magbisaya manggunta ba sa community, no? Kung dili kayo bisaya o magtagalog, pwede kasabot naman na sila sa community. Ma'am, na ako'y pangutana. Okay? Kani ma'am, kabahin man gud ni siya sa inyong income. Kinahanglan nato mahibalan, ma'am, kay syempre ang mga needs sa family, okay, para like for example, mga health needs sa family anana, no? So kinahanglan mo nato ma-establish, ma'am, kung sakto lang ba sa inyong panginahanglan or kulang ba? Okay, so I hope you don't mind, ma'am, mangutana unta ko pila man or pila sa membro sa pamilya ang nagatrabaho, ma'am. Okay? Then, sulti sila. Kunyari, ay, ang bana lang na ako nagtatrabaho. Ma'am, pwede ba mahibalaan pila ang income ni sir? So, mingon, sulti na po na siya. So, you have to get all of those information kasi kailangan natin i-compare yung income versus the expenses, the number of the family members. And then, unsay ginagastuhan sa ilahang kwarta. Okay? Alam, ma'am, maulaw mong kumamoy. Na ayaw lang kung kaulaw, ma'am. Okay? Para mampudni sa inyong kaayuhan. Para napod ni masadya sa inyo ha, o sa inyong pwedeng buhaton. Aron, okay, madungagan ba ang inyong income or saan na to pag-budget sa kwarta. Para tanan, makatagan yun siya og alokasyon. Ana ba? Pag-explain ninyo, no? So, you ask, so ma'am, kung inani ang kita ni sir, pila po datong gasto sa matag adlaw? Ang kita ni sir, 150, may tricycle driver. Pila sila kabuok, 6 sila ka family members. So, doon ka na ngayon mag-identify further ng mga data, which could be helpful later on in determining kung sa kaya'y problema, health problems sa family. Kaisa na dyan may mga on sa isa kaadlaw, ma'am. Kaya di jud masakto, kaya ang kita manggod ingon ani. So mga ana, no? Next to socio-economic, may mga cultural characteristics. So may mga question dito, educational attainment of each member, ethnic background, unsa man ginailang origin, unsa man na sila. So things like that. Significant others nila. So relationship of the family to a larger community. So I think na-discuss ito sa inyo sa, although mabilisan lang, pero meron naman kayong guide nito. Next to that is your home and environment na po. So, meron ding mga data that you need to gather. But we are not going to include anymore the measurement in terms of the total floor area and the total window opening. So, yun yung sinabi sa amin ng coordinator. Kasi di ba mag-measure pa magudmuan na sa sulod sa balay para ma-determine if there is adequacy in terms of the space with the number of the family members and adequacy of ventilation. Okay? balisod man na, kunyari, na magkasakit sa ilaha dito isa, na ilang balay kay multi-purpose, perti kagamay. Pagsulod ni mo na dayon. So, gina-compute magod na siya. But then right now, kung mag-interview magod there's no need for us to get inside the house of the family. As much as possible, we stay outside. Kay congested kayo ang sulod, what if naaday din hay nagkasakit? So, ang ventilation poor, na basig kita na inoy matakdan sa sakit. So, it's either we utilize dito sa sari-sari store kanang open space ba, or mananghid ta with a purok leader, kung pwede lang, doon na tayo sa chapel mag-conduct ng interview. Okay? Pero nung panahon na walang pandemic, kani, sulod yun dito sa balay. So, medyo lain-laig baho usahay, no? Lahi yun og smell. Pero ang tuson yun na namo, sulod ka, pati ang CI, kaya because you need to observe man. Okay? Home and environment. Magbe-measure. Dili po magpakita nga gi-measure gid namo siya. But then we just make estimation. So using our umbrella, okay, muna So sa grupo nanaday nag-measure dito, walang kay balo ang family. Muna na ang ginabuhat nato. So here you're going to check adequacy of the space, pero wala na tayo niyan, sleeping arrangement, mga breeding sites, if there would be breeding sites of some mosquitoes, vectors, lahat. So, accident hazard, food storage, water supply, toilet facility, tandiha na nimo mahibalaan, no? Kung giunsa nila paglabay ilang basura, ilang drainage system, naaba, wala pa, isang klaseng neighborhood na sila. So, some of this does not really require asking questions, but by merely looking at the situation, observing it, you can already describe it in your narrative. Klaro? So, kana siya ang third po. So, narrative ka din dyan. So ito, this is the computation supposedly, no? If we are going to get the total floor area and the adequacy of the ventilation. So anyway, I think this will be presented to you in your lecture. So since hindi naman natin ito gagamitin muna kasi hindi na tayo mag-measure nito. So kuan lang manunta ni siya, total floor area, we just need to get the length and width, okay, of the total floor area. Tapos, multiply natin. May formula ba dito? This one is for the ventilation only. So, we need to check for the total window opening, multiply it by 100, then we're going to divide it with the total floor area. So, length and width, multiply lang natin in meters, that is the total floor area. Then, you can already obtain the corresponding percentage, no, in terms of the ventilation. So, 20% satisfactory, 18 to 19% fair, 17 below poor. So, yan, I think ituturo ito sa lecture din. Merong mga exercises nito. So, ang ating total space requirement, meron po dito. Depende, anong klase, multi-purpose ba yung bahay nila or single purpose? Okay? So, single purpose. Like, kung multi-purpose, pagpasok mo, yun na exactly. Ilang balay ba? Murag kako, nag-rent lang sila. That's the living room. Walay mga partition, whatever they. That's the dining, that's the living, that is the area for sleeping, lahat. Yun na po, multi-purpose. Yung iba naman naka-separate, may dining, ganyan, may living room, okay? So, yan siya, single-purpose room po yan. May mga requirement po, no? Every family member. So, kung adult, there is a specific requirement in terms of space. So, you have to count pila ka adult, pila ka bata, nabay infant. Ang infant, 0 man ang iyahang requirement for both multi-purpose and single-purpose. So, you are going to compare now ang total floor area with the total space requirement. So, halimbawa, ang total floor area is 10 square meters. This consists of adult. Halimbawa, multi-purpose room ito. Nag-rent lang sila. So, yung buong, yung space na yun na yung lahat. 4 sila, edi 12 na. May family member pa. May mga bata, 3. Definitely, ang total floor area nila kulang. Okay? So, there is overcrowding. Now, if the total floor area is greater compared to the total space requirement, then that is not overcrowding. Okay, not overcrowded. It's how you are going to interpret it, supposedly. Kaya kailangan natin makuha yung total floor area muna. We have to compute for that and compute for the total space requirement and compare it for us to determine if there is inadequacy of living space. Kasi isa yan siya sa mga health threat na problem if you are going to check your typology of nursing problem. So yan po. Pero again, this time, we will not be doing or measuring anymore this para less na yung possibility na makakuha tayo ng kung anumang sakit, okay, mga virus, bacteria inside sa bahay. So sa labas na tayo, hindi na tayo muna magme-measure nito. So this data, forgo na muna ito. Next will be health status of each member. So meron din dyan nakalagay, ito na yung mga sakit nila, may mga nutritional assessment ka na, you need to obtain the height, the weight, so that you can compare, no? On the BMI standards. Baka may family member na underweight, overweight, obese, tapos may sakit pala, hypertensive ba, diabetic ba? So, yun po yung kinukuha natin dito. Mga diet ng pasyente, ng entire family. So, meron nga tayong tinatawag na mga 24-hour dietary recall. Okay, so meron yan dun sa inyong family assessment guide how you are going to get those information. So diyan ninyong mahibalaan kung inyong family, are they eating on time? Yes, they're eating on time, but what about the quantity of food? The quality of food. So most of them, ma'am, pagbuntag, kape lang may pandesal. Pati mga bata, mo lang nang ginakaon nila. Tagpila po ka pandesal, ma'am, per family member. Tag-isa-isa lang daw sila. Or lami silang sudan, pero isa lang ka, takos from the karinderya. So, paano mo yan ma-justify ngayon? 5 sila, bibili ka ng isang serving doon sa karinderya, and then they will be sharing it. Okay? So, kulang pa rin siya. So, that is still in terms of quantity, quality of food, so there is a problem. Tapos, isupport na doon sa mga data na nag-gather ninyo with health status, yung mga weight nila, yan. Things like that. So, importante po, may guide kayo doon. Next to that is your values, habits, practices, and health promotion, maintenance, and disease prevention. So, dito, may mga immunization, may mga healthy lifestyle, nag-exercise ba, adequacy of rest. So, madami pong information that you need to gather under values, habits, practices, and health promotion, maintenance, and disease prevention. So, kung may mga bata, as much as possible, you need to obtain the immunization status of the children. Okay? Incorporate na rin ninyo, may COVID-19 vaccinated ba yung family members natin? Ayan. So, pwede ninyong hiramin ang kanilang immunization card so that you can check. Si buntis, kompleto ba siya sa iyahang vaccination? Like for example, the tetanus toxoid. So, ilang doses na po ang na-receive niya. So, you have to gather all of this information. So, lahat ito, 5 categories na ito, this will be for your IDB or initial database, all in narrative discussion. Now, for number 6, this will be your family developmental task. So, yung sabi ko na sa inyo kanina, narrative pa rin po. Kaya it's tabular form na pala ito. Ang inyong family developmental task, I have an example for this one. So, naka-table po ito. Halimbawa, beginning family. So, the first column would be for the task. And then, may options doon, achieve, not achieve. You just need to put check kung achieve. Okay? Ng family. And then, you have to write down your justification. So, why the group say so that it was achieved by the family. So, dapat naka-narrative, may proof kayo doon. So, to justify na na-achieve yung task na yun ng inyong family. Okay? Number 7 would be physical assessment. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, excuse lang ko, ma'am, kaya makalimot ko. Regarding katong mga card dito sa vaccination, are they allowed, ma'am, na natin, ma'am, check from the patient or from the family na hawakan ng mga students?
Okay naman siguro. Like, if it is available, ma'am, like, kunyari, kung natay opportunity to get it, okay lang man siguro, ma'am siya, I think, no?
Para sa ko okay lang kay anyway at least makita gid nila usay. Kay usay man good the family does not know how to interpret usay naa dito. Gahulat na sila agad na sila presyo dates di ay kung usay mga na dito.
Okay ra na kolektahon nila and then
iuli lang, ma'am.
Iuli lang gyud dayon.
Lilion lang nato siguro.
Picturean lang
ako. So, lilion lang gyud nato, pinakalit lang gyud.
Pinakalit lang. Kanang tanawon niyo sa
Okay.
mga dates dito. Kanang
Oh.
siguro dilisod po naman picture, Ma'am Jack, kay Kuan. Kay ano ka siya for ano tawag na confidentiality ba? Kuan lang ko siya mananghid lagi ta na ato lang kopyahon siguro tong data dito while ongoing an interview sa uban, the other members will do quickly yung pag-copy ng mga info
Okay.
para mas paspas.
So noted. Muna dapat na agad sila tasking, no? While the other groupmate is conducting the interview, katong uban mangita na pud mong inyong mga buhatonon ba. Okay? So para dili mo madugay. So that's it, no, for our saan ako? So sa family developmental task, okay, may example ako nito later and how you will go about it. Depende kung anong stage po ng ating family development. So may guide kayo nito, yung kay Evelyn Duval. So the physical assessment for the pregnant mother is actually optional katong cephalocaudal gid na assessment. So usually ang ginasulat na lang man nato ani is kanang iyang obstetrical history, di ba Ma'am Shari? Humana ba ni sila maternal and child?
Alam
Somehow? Wala
murag
pa?
Usay concept ninyo?
Karon pa no, sa bala.
What's your concept sa first na sa 207 ninyo?
7.
What's your, are you GND or maternity?
Maternal po, ma'am.
Very
Okay. So 2P is maternal. How about R?
Same din po, ma'am.
Okay.
Maternal.
So okay na.
So wala tayong problema dito, no? So halimbawa kung doon tayo sa sa health center, we are the one who assisted the prenatal of the mother, then we can have the maternal, or I mean the obstetrical data of the patient. Katong mga GPA, TEPAL, we get the LMP of the mother, we have to compute for the expected date of confinement, we have to also compute for the AOG, mga anak. Hello, mga fundik height, mura gid sa nagid atong mga hibalaan didto no, kay prenatal lang man yun. Dili na ta atong gikan ulo hangtod sa tiil sa pasyente.
By the way, I would like to the Leopold's maneuver usually is done by the midwives there in the health the clinic, no, in our health centers. And kung nasa home daw, hindi man tayo so hindi kita maka-Leopold's. We discourage the students performing the Leopold's. Kay syempre first time, no, so basig malamog ang tiyan pagkaugma tingala ka nagpa-admit kay na nag-contract di kuan. So we don't do that sa community, ha, gina-discourage kay basig makaanak og ahat, no, kanang ang procedure sa sige kumot-kumot sa tiyan dito. Kay naggipraktisa ng tiyan sa nanay sa buntis. Kay that's one thing that's actually done sa prenatal, but with the supervision ng siguro with the midwife na nandoon. Pwede kayo kung payagan kayo, but I doubt kung payagan kayo usually. Hindi ang siguro sa assessment lang tayo ng ibang other areas, the GPA TPAL, wala tayong kalaban doon. Pero yung manipulation, makang malabo tayo diyan kay baka maka-stimulate tayo ng contractions.
Okay. So, yun po. So, pwede siguro if they have the existing records, then we can copy it. Ana na lang. Kunyari, ang nag-perform, ang midwife, kopyahon na yun nato dito. Okay, fundik height, tapos asa dapit ang fetal heartbeat, asa ba siya dapit nga side, right? Upper back, asang quadrant na dungog, how many beats per minute. So, maybe we can add it on in our obstetrical data but then we no longer perform Leopold's maneuver. Okay? So yan po, tsaka hindi na rin mag-head to toe tayo ng ating physical assessment. So medyo bawas na ito ng kaunti, unlike before, we need to perform pa physical assessment. All right, then of course, this will be followed by your genogram. So marunong naman kayo mag-genogram. Again, na-mention ko na kanina sa inyo, ang genogram, after the illustration, meron din kayong narrative discussion. Please be very careful with the legends that you are going to use. So 3 generations po ang mag-reflect dito, maternal, and then we have the paternal side. And then, followed by your eco map. So kani siya, ato na po din siyang drawing, gihapon niya siya. So family at the center, and then what are the various facilities that are available. So anyway, may illustration din doon. And then below that, you are also going to have your narrative discussion. Then after this one, you need to present the family coping index, the 9 areas. So mag-start ka na, physical independence. May rating kasi ito eh. So anyway, we're going to discuss family coping index and how you will go about with your write-ups for the family coping index. Then next to family coping index is the prioritization of problem. Okay? Diba, 10 problem ang inyong i-prioritize. Ito yung may scoring. Okay? So, first criteria, you need to identify what is the nature of the problem. Health deficit ba? Health threat ba? Is it foreseeable crisis ba? Stress points ba? Ganyan. Wellness state po ba ito? So, may corresponding scale and weight po ito for you to come up with your computation and justification as well. Okay, naka-table din po ito yung 10 health problem. Pero kung medyo magipit, bahala na si ma'am kung meron siyang modification na gawain, baka 5 lang ipa-identify niya. Tapos, ang gagawa nyo is 3 FNCP per subgroup. Okay, students? Next, after prioritization will be your family nursing care plan. So, ito na yung FNCP. Kung anong lumabas na first top 3 out of the 10 or maybe out of the 5 problems, depende sa CI, no, yun po yung gagawan ng FNCP ng bawat subgroup. So, FNCP number 1, number 2, number 3. So, 3 lang po yung ating family nursing care plan. And then lastly, ito na yung sinabi ni Ma'am Fuentes sa inyo kanina, you need to write an implication to nursing education, research, and practice. So what's the implication of this family case study to these 3 areas? Again, narrative po ito. Okay? So questions so far, students, regarding the content of your family case study. So that's the sequence. That's how you are going to present it. Then lastly, please do not forget your references. So it should be arranged alphabetically. Then you have to follow the APA format. Okay? So, di na siguro tayo mag-elaborate further, Ana, because you have an idea already on how to go about APA, writing of references. Now, for the FNCP, kasi 3 FNCP yun, no? Now, how are you going to be graded? Okay, for the FNCP, for the Qs, it will be 25%. So, ang kaibahan lang dito sa ating individual NCP, dalawa kasi may health problem ka, may family nursing problem ka. So, dalawa ang i-identify mo. So, yung health problem is 5%, family nursing problem, that is 20%. Then, you have your goal or the general objective, and then you have also your specific objective. So, dalawa din. So, may general objective, may specific objective tayo. So, for objective, it is 10%. And method of nurse-family contact. So, we'll be showing to you what are those different methods of nurse-family contact. But the very common one, of course, and yun din ang gagawin natin, would be home visit. Okay? So, that is the common nurse-family contact. So, home visit. And then, what are the interventions? So, sa interventions natin, unlimited man ang ating interventions, wala pong rationale, so long as it will address the problem of the family. And then lastly, your evaluation. So ito na yung may date and time, and then sabihin nyo na goal met, and then what are the corresponding proofs that you have. Why you have that particular general conclusion. Goal met, not met, partially met pa. So total sa FNCP will be 100%. Okay? So etong FNCP, kasali na kasi ito sa manuscript nila. So, unless sabihin ng CI ninyo, iba ang deadline ng FNCP, so it will be submitted separately. Okay, for the FNCP, mag-handwritten ta ni Mang Fuentes, Migrinyo, or ano na to?
Kung ako kay appeal man ni siya di pa sa FCS, dapat ko ano siya printed gihapon ni siya kay kuan man ni siya tawagan ni kanang appeal man siya sa manuscript kumbaga.
So, mas better, no? Kaysa sulat. So, since kasali sa manuscript, ano na ni siya, computerized na ni siya, guys. Kay taas ba yan ni inyong family nursing care plan. Kaya for family case study, long po yung ating bond paper, hindi po short. Kasi itong FNCP ninyo, mahaba man ito. Then it is, tawag dito ay, ano nga yan, ang orientation? Landscape po.
Ang isa portrait, yung isa.
Oo. So
Ma'am Jack.
naka-landscape. Yes, ma'am.
A quick question regarding sa evaluation because it will be a very short term na ano natin. It's because we will meet them Thursday. We will visit Friday. Ang evaluation unsa man kanang mag-depends naman ta pagka Sabado.
Kaya yun din ang problem.
Paano yung
Unsa man na to,
evaluation natin dito? Say,
kuan na lang siguro ni this is not really kanang murag how sample evaluation lang siguro ni Ma'am
sige,
Jack.
kung kanang usay what do they expect, what siguro ano na lang kung ano ang like ano yung sa tingin mo with their behavior, siguro i-align natin sa behavior ng pasyente if do you think ma-meet nila yung evaluation na yung goal nila, objective nila para meron tayong ano sa evaluation natin. I think they can assess during the interaction with the patient if kato imang ilang nasa huna-huna na objective, probably ma-meet ba to nila. So imaginary siguro ni evaluation nato ani.
Maraming hypothesis.
Ana na lang gid ang gawas ani kay murag di kita kakuha na kay maupay ato pag-implement ani pag home visit unless sundan nato siya no pag human yung prenatal visit magbanuban ta saya magpanulo ta tugtungan o baktas padulong ito silang balay. That's another story. Then we can come back on another day for whatever it is that you wanted to add no, dagdag na lang siya. And you can also evaluate at the same time. Pero kung once mag-home visit ta o Friday, murag malabo kayo ang atong evaluation ani.
Yes. Kasi data gathering pamanggod ni. Kung
lagi.
isot kayo siya like dapat there's a day mo could separate for us to have our interventions yun, implementation day. And then after that one, we need to come back for the evaluation. Kung ila ba yung gibuhat ato ang gihatag sa ilahang health education. So, if we don't have the opportunity, magkuha na lang ta. Or, yun na, mag-create ka na lang ng evaluation mo. Something.
Yeah, mag-create na lang siguro tayo evaluation.
Just to show lang ba, nakabalo sila mag-evaluate.
Yes.
Ana lang, pakita lang yun na nakasabot mo na inani di ay pag-evaluate. Okay, dilipod ka ng far out ang ilang mga ipang sulat.
Lagi. Ma'am Jack,
pero in reality,
if not, murag ana.
Or
two options, murag katong yung na if or if not.
So, ano na lang,
di ba? Kanang sa pathophysiology siya.
Na murag ana na lang ang style niya. Kay para at least maalatay kuan.
Di ba? Like, ano.
Pero depende rin kasi yan siya sa objectives ninyo. Kung very short naman, like sample lang, identify. Ano lang, dali naman kaayo. So after 1 hour of health education, the family will be able to identify ani lang 3 out of the 5 ways. So, dali.
So depende sa kuan ilang objective na giset nila.
Okay. Pwede man pagkahumani mo, o sige daw, kanang mangutana ko ma'am no, nahuman naman yun mi karon. Sige daw, unsa man tong mga pamaagi aron ani-ani. Ya katubag man si ma'am, katubag man ng family. Di nag-goalmet na kadito Okay? So, ana na lang siya class kay wala man tay opportunity git nga makuha na to, ma-assess no after the kuan.
Ma'am Jack, napot ko addition.
Sige,
kasi di ba isa suggestion is if we can conduct the interview or the data gathering in an area where naatatanan dito halimbawa sa chapel ana good o na sila area dito, we still need to at least pass by the homes of the client. No, dili kay dito ta kay wa kitay ikasulti diri sa atong environment kung dito mo tan-aw sa kuan. So mo tan-aw ta dito so naatay idea somehow the size of the house pero sa gawas rata. Like asa dapit inyo ha diri ma'am asa ko. So naagi tay dapat naagi tay survey mag-survey na buhaton sa within sa ilang vicinity gyud. Although preferably man good ang sulti man good we have to stay outside sa balay or preferably dito sa chapel which is sa bigger area magod ang point dito is a big better ventilation pag nasa ano tayo chapel kay mas wider man ang space whereas sa balay syempre agianan mga kuan di man ta kuan but still we really need to go there sa ilang area kung asa ilang balay tinuod na puy-anan para naagit ikasulti diri sa ato mga info nato diri. Kung if the door is open, no, if the door sa ilang balay is open, pangita gid mo paagi na makatanaw sa TV nato, no, kanang gamito nato mga pagkahimantayo nato na usay masilip, pagka marites nato, usay masilip nato from the outside na without getting in na unsay naa sa sulod para klaro ang istorya nato if you can have more to say. Pero di mo musulod, klaro na ko, dili mo musulod. Mang-atik-atik lang gud mo na, pero silip lang ba? Ma'am, tadlawan ako kadiri pa pero ayaw mo sulod kanang pag-open, dili pod mo isulod inyong ulo dito. Palayo lang at least from a distance you can have a good view ug unsay naa dito. Kasi that's very important usahay dito. Kung kitang balay mag-discover like sa una, we have visited a house na pagsaka na mo sa hagdanan na ipako gining atubang sa mo masige magsulti oy basi magisi inyong mga nawong no tanawa sa kang naidako kay pako nakausli. So mga ganyan ba. So and we have to remind our students also when we enter the house, I always tell them pangita ang frame sa balay kay usay plywood ang flooring nya mo nang wala ko grasulod kay basig mahugno ko because there were incidents before na swak jud kay sila shoot jud kay tug estudyante no nangahulog. So as much as possible ganyan yung mga natin para for our safety also. Okay.
Yes, exactly. So magaling man ang mga students sa ganyan, tingin ko. Pag sila from a distance.
Yeah.
Lang ang drama na to ani. Okay,
Ma'am Jack,
kayo.
Sigit pud ako, naipangutana din. Usa day size sa Aras notebook.
Ang Aras notebook, typical lang man yung rag ingon
Ito.
ba?
Yung
Ano
usual
yan lang
maliit na notebook.
O yan pinakita
Yan maliit, yung pinakita. Ito yung maliit na notebook, yung ginagamit natin na maliit na notebook. That's it.
Tapos, di ba usually, para ma-identify per group, same notebook na
Same
lang
color.
sila. Isa lang
same notebook. Isa lang
kunyari,
palit para for
color.
everyone.
naka-design lang ba para identify ko, that's for my group. Ana lang. One will purchase it. Okay? Sige. So far, unsa man student, clear pa ba? Clear pa ba ang all? With all of these requirements that we have, things to do. Okay.
The time factor, balance.
Yes. Mo jud ka nang
Ano man ba yung hard copy nila na requirements sa level 2? So, magunitan pa na sa atong mga PCI.
Kung ano gini, ang PCIs, they will be provided na lang with soft copy. Ang hard copy,
Diretso na sa ato, no? Kaya magbalhin-balhin ang ma'am.
Yes.
Oo,
Pero ang Aras,
Loy,
ang
kay
problema.
magpa-print sila tanan.
Yes, ang Aras kay handwritten man.
Ay, the
Aras.
Usa man na magpicturean nila, send nila sa PCI.
Pwede rin, no? For that day.
Kay para alangan kaduha sila mo sulat no, kaduha pud ka notebook.
Okay. Pwede. Na lang siguro. Sige, we're going to have that particular arrangement per subgroup and how are we going to go about it. So regarding the submission of your Aras notebook, kay isa ra man ka notebook niya, ang PCI puting daghana. Ilahay PCI, so lain po kay isa-isa ka PCI, isa jud ka notebook. Na kubala na yung kamot na nagsinulat. Sige, we're going to proceed. So this is the format of your family nursing care plan, class. So I think given na rin ito sa inyong NCM 204 lecture. So ang format. So you have here the date and time. So date kayo nag-conduct ng inyong assessment, anong oras, and then you have the queue. So same thing with your individual nursing care plan. It will be subjective and then you also have objective cues. Okay? Then you're going to write your health problem. Okay, we will discuss where can you get this one. So health problem, and then pagkatapos pa talaga ng health problem, maglalagay ka pa ng family nursing problem. So the family nursing problem cannot, this is not limited only into one. If you happen to recognize or analyze what's the reason why there is a failure in the part of the family to perform their task, that's why they have this health problem, then pwede ka pang magdagdag po dito. Then next year, goal of care. Ito yung general objectives natin, followed by our specific objectives. Then the set of interventions that we are going to implement, no, for the patient. I mean, not for the family rather, kasi family man natin dito. So always remember, this is for the family, not for the individual family members, for all. Next would be, ang sa interventions lang, specific lang po talaga tayo. A little bit detailed po tayo pagdating sa interventions because you will not be writing any rationale for this one. Okay? Then method of nurse-family contact, yun na po yung home visit ba ang ginawa ninyo? Okay? Nag-usa mo, nag-teleconference ba mo? Nag-video chat na ba mo? Mo na ba na yung inyong pan? Anyway, you have there the list of your nurse-family contact. But we go for home visit because yun naman po ang gagawin natin. And then, what are the resources that you will be needing, no, for this particular set of interventions? So you have to write it down here, all of the resources that is needed. And then lastly, you need to evaluate. So for evaluation, again, what will be reflected here will be the date, the time, and then your general conclusion. Goal met. Okay, then same lang good. So after an hour of health education, the family was able to, or let's say, when asked, the family answered. Ana man na siya ni nana. Okay? So especially kung more on verbalization, so what is the response, okay, of that family member? So hindi lang din natin ipapast tense yung statement na parang kinopya lang natin kung anong nilagay sa objectives of care, lalagay natin sa evaluation. Kaya lang past tense form na po yung ating behavioral term. You need to support it with proof. Okay? So, yan po yung ating family nursing care plan. Ito, example man ito, but I have another example. So, that's how it will be done. Okay? So, you have subjective, objective cues, and then you have the nursing problem, family nursing problem, the goal of care, and then, of course, you have the objectives, and then you have the family contact, and then you have the materials. Example dito, ano mga ginamit niyo? Visual aids, human resources, time and effort of both the nurses and the family. If there would be financial resources that is needed to purchase, ano ba, kunyari kung nagluto ba kayo doon sa bahay ng family, just to illustrate what's the proper way of preparing, let's say, affordable, nutritious meal for the family kasi ang problem nila has something to do with nutrition. So, lalagay nyo rin dyan. And then, of course, your, tawag natin dito, your evaluation at the end. Okay? So, I think ang kulang dito, walang date and time. So, dapat may date and time, and then you have your conclusion, and then general conclusion, and then the proof. Bakit mo nasabing goal met, goal partially met, or goal not met? Okay. So, grading system. So, as what I have said, kung wala tayong opportunity to implement, paano itong 25% natin? So, written FCS 50%. Okay? Hanapan talaga natin ng paraan. Yung written 50. Okay. Ang oral pala class is only 25%. Implementation would be 25%. So, eto na yung you will be conducting your health education to the family. Okay? So, ideally, manggudaanin niya, you will be given time to prepare for this one. So, na-identify na natin, okay, when is our implementation day? So, meron naman kayong kanya-kanyang mga naka-assign na mga health problem. So, yun po yung gagawaan ninyo ng implementation. So, whatever is written in your family nursing care plan, this time it will be implemented in reality. Okay? So, you need to meet your family once again, kakandak ng home visit, and then you will share, okay, that implementation to your family. So, kung ano man ito, more on health education man talaga tayo, pag nasa community, yun na yun. We need to do face-to-face with the family and then discuss. Okay? So, that is 25%. Siguro, mabilisan na lang ito. We will just simply observe how will you handle the giving of the health education. Kung wala gitay time na kanang yung mag-sit down yun gani, and then they will bring with them the materials that they will be needing because of the limited number of hours no we are exposed. So what do you think mga ma'am kaning implementation nato sa duha ka adlaw?
Kani implementation ba? Murag health teachings na siguro ta mahulog ani tanan, and then maybe if we can add some tokens with it, like for example, if you're talking about garbage disposal, like for example, you have seen they don't have a garbage bin, tapos you opted to give them nila yung mga tokens na ganun, like bigyan mo sila ng sako, yung mga ganun. Halimbawa, ganyan ba? That has to be ma-foresee natin in advance. But in regards to the health education, since we have a very long time for next week, no, you have to have a ready health teachings kung ano yung ini-expect nyo ma-encounter doon. Like for example, ano ba yung common sa mga bata, childhood illnesses, halimbawa, ubo, sipon, murag magpalayo man jud na ano, pero mo na common doon ta. Pero pag ana man, parang managan man siguro ta na ano, na istorya ron. Halimbawa, I'll just take it as ano, as simple na as that. Kung may ubo sipon, ano yung mga advices natin para pagdating doon, ready na tayo na sa ano sasabihin natin. Bali pag-gather natin, diretso kaagad tayo sa ating goal, no, say ganun, diretso kaagad implement, teach kaagad tayo. Hindi yung, kasi usually kasi data gathering tayo pagka following, kasi di ba, we have 4 weeks of duty. Second week data gathering, pagka third week, yan yung implementation natin. Tapos sometimes data gathering tayo week 2, saka implementation pagka week 3, and then evaluation tayo pagka week 2 pa rin pati implementation, isang araw interval on maybe on the third day. Pagka third week, evaluation natin kung like a goal mo is 1 week para makita mo talaga na i-follow niya within the week. Kaso ito, isang araw lang eh. Punta tayo ngayon, bukas implement, evaluate diretso. So dapat ready na gid mo sa inyong mga exhibition, health teachings and everything. Dapat fully equipped kayo para meron natin panagandaan dito. Para pag-abot dito, pakitang gilas gid kayo na todo-todo. So it means to say the week 2 will be a very busy week for you, preparing for all of those mga shield natin, lahat ng mga kailangan natin o lahat ng mga ipakitang gilas natin during the third week. Para sa ating show.
Sure.
For the third week. Okay, mo
Nana sila ikuan. I-identify naman dayo ninyo ang problem. So first day pa lang, so makita nimo okay na yung problem sa home and environment,
Yes.
Garbage disposal, nana dayon ka anay line up.
Ready na ka-line up o sa mga ikasulti ninyo. Garbage disposal, halimbawa sabi natin sa sewage nila, sa mga ano sa mga kanal na issues. Unsay masulti nato, unsay ready na kayo lahat ng mga gusto nyong sabihin doon.
Siya, pwede na siya a form of lecture.
Mahulog siya ana.
Magpakita sila ng mga video.
So you should be ready with like for example pictures gusto niyo ipakita or gusto niyo para mas concrete, mas makasabot ang mga ating mga clients in the family nato regarding this one. Like malnutrition, anong pwede mong ma-advise sa kanila, like foods or mga easy to prepare and not so expensive foods sa mga recipes. You can have it ready. Ayaw intawon sa taga ay ganang masosyalan ng mga steak. Ay Diyos ko Lord. Yung mga ganyan ba. So ready na dati sa ang ating kumbaga pupunta kayo ng gera, fully pack kayo ba? Ganun yung dati para parating doon, bigay-bigay na lang tayo diretso ng ating
mag-tasking na lang na sila, ma'am, like first
Yes.
subgroup. Okay, somebody, okay, ito yung sa inyo, you talk about about the environment, yan, sa inyo, garbage, hazards within the environment, so fire hazard ba, o may mga sharp objects, ready na mo, ana. Sakit, unsang mga sakit yung nakita to, high blood, ang amahan, okay, nana mo ready daan. Okay, ang mga anak, tanaw ni mo, murag, ingon, gibitok daw, gawas daw ang bitok sa lubot, ready na bukana. Okay? So, murag, na sila yun. Naka-prepare na ginundaan.
Dagan kay andam next week sa exam week pag ina matunong, no?
So, adili pa ni sa third week pa man ni
Lagi, pero mag-prepare man sila next week sa man sila sila gera pagka third week. Second week at training pa man second week.
Sila yung mga generic na mga
generic na kuan.
Na pag-ani kani apik na lang kani atong ikuan sa ilaha and discuss. Yes. Kung mga common ka ng mga manigarilyo, mga tambo kay obese na kaayo, ang mga family members kay wala yan nanay mga manifestations and all. So healthy lifestyle lang mga ana-ana na mga tips. Okay, students. Laban-laban. Guys. Sige. Okay, creative maning mga PCI sad.
Oh,
Anion ni ninyo. After all the, di ba? Mr. Kuan, si John, pila na gudi ka rotation. Ka-implement, maganig virtual, kanip pa. Makita na mo ang patient. Kuyaw, mga ina sa implementation. Virtual pa lang, pero kuyaw kay mga program, mga grabe sila. So yan po ha, oral 25, implementation 25. Ito, mga references naman lang ito. I think they know this one. Na, so na ko ni-discuss sa inyo, no? So, yan po for APA, how to go about it, ganyan. So, this is now the schedule. Pero na siguro ni changes. Reading, third day of week 1. Daghan mong tagkuan, ugma pa lang daan, magpa-reading na ko. Diba, kung sa may buhato, kung sa mga output, aras natin every Wednesday, every Saturday for Thursday group, need to submit this one. However, kanang inig face-to-face lang hindi siya masubmit. Karong Saturday, pwede. Because we're going to have our face-to-face. So, they have to make their aras na. So, ngayong Sabado, depende na siguro sa CI, mga ma'am, we will be giving instruction na lang. Anong gusto natin? Sabado na ba? Submit na nila. Yes, ma'am.
Magpasabit tayo ng Saturday.
Opo.
Ibalik natin. Pagkabalik na po natin kita.
Ana, good, ma'am. Kunya, kay mag-virtual man ta, kay Extra Manila.
So last week na yun siya.
Pwede ba last week na lang ni ma'am siya?
Isa mo na lang, no?
pwede man siguro i-collect natin, then we'll just note, naglagay natin ng note para talagang yun ang last nila na entry para walang add-ons na mga ano, we can check on the mga ano, para may ano natin na malaman natin walang additional entry while nasa ilaha. But for the second week, since virtual man, ang pwede nato na siya ihatag kaso tayo ang hindi sure na kung magpunta ng school para sa ano, but we have the Saturday as ano ba yung Saturday natin yan? Face to face ba na? Virtual gihapon.
Virtual tayo Saturday kay wala
Second
pa
week?
clinic.
Ang second wala pa lang room, no?
Kay wala man yung clinic, so wala. Virtual tayo ng Saturday.
Hindi, ang ngayon na week is ano tayo, face to face tayo, di ba? Pero next week is virtual tayo kay walay classroom available.
Yes po.
Pagka ano, virtual na ito third order naman kay si ano naman ang third week natin depends na. So ang next week ang story ano wala iklaro gyapon. So pwedeng i-collect, i-note lang natin siya sa Saturday pagkatapos sa end na ng ano sa defense na ta magkuan na mag-abot. Kay di ginato na siya makuha. Pero ambot sa una
ano nila? So this Saturday they're going to submit their ARAS notebook.
Yes.
Kunya, butangan lang natong signature na to. Okay?
Yes, para dili na noted na
balik na tayo na to sa ilaha.
Yes.
And next nilang balik sa kanusta ta magkita? Sa next, ano na, third week.
Third week na.
Maybe on, sa Friday na lang. Kay defense naman po ni
Friday. Tama. Friday na to
Friday.
Note na po na nato. Hindi, wala pa kay napa man sila, di ba daily man yan hanggang sa ano, napa may fourth week.
So, note na to sa Friday, 23.
Then fourth week ang collection natin.
Okay.
Pero so, virtual tanan, ano sa man ng 1? Patuon tag school, na walay activity na sa school.
Sa day ng 1, Ma'am Shari?
St. Therese.
Ay, fiesta man na to.
Abot ang patuon ba ni sila?
So, mag-wait sa tag further kuan. Kung patuon ta, mag-fiesta ta, we will gather sa fiesta.
Dili siguro ang estudyante.
Kita lang. So, ibili na lang nila.
I-submit na lang nila, sa ba na, mag-meet night time na ihatag lang nila sa, i-meet na to sa guard or unsa kung depende kung required. Pero if not, mao na itong problemahon ka sa na to i-collect ang sa fourth week.
Mag-set na lang tag-schedule, ana. Like, school. Maghulat me until ani nga time.
Yeah, pwede, ana.
Ana na lang siguro. Okay, students, sige, unya amuas ato lang ng sabutan, no. So, implementation, third half day of the week 3. Okay. FCS, third day of the fourth week. Third day of the fourth week. Okay. Magbigay na kami ng aming mga schedules for this one, no. We will not follow exactly because tingnan natin kung ano yung pwede para sa grupo natin for this one. So these are some of the topics for reading. All right. Yan. Magbibigay ang mga PCIs later on ng kanilang mga topics for the reading as we divide now the group into subgroups. So meron man tayong mga individual assignments, okay, for our reading. But most likely, these are the corresponding topics. So we need to have GDM because we're dealing with pregnant mothers, anemia in pregnancy, diet for pregnant, mga contraceptives, kasi nga family man itong ating pinag-uusapan, teenage pregnancy. So we can also incorporate those different immunizable diseases. Okay? So yung ating mga vaccines, ano yung mga sakit na nipe-prevent niya, then we can also have it as our reading, the different diseases. All right. The philosophy of community health nursing is based on the worth and dignity of man, according to Margaret Chatelain. Okay, so di ba naman is itong lesson. So as we go to our respective clinical areas, practicing the concept of community health nursing, so we always have to remember, okay, that we need to value the worth and dignity of every human being, no, regardless of the status, okay, that they have within the community. So still, no, we don't actually, hindi tayo nagdi-discriminate. As much as possible, we need to provide, okay, yung mga equitable, okay, services to everyone. So wala po tayong pinipili so long as available yung services and then they're in need of it. So binibigyan po talaga natin. So we respect the individual differences, okay, of all the people in the community. Kaya nga lagi natin sinasabi, we have to be very careful with our words sometimes, no? So the way we behave because they see us as role models, no? And then makitaan ka dito, nagsigarilyo-sigarilyo ka, palit ka dito sa sari-sari store. So kunyari, mga PCI, si Mr. Kasumo, simba ko lang po, nanigarilyo dito, lain, sad siya, no? And then when you are in front already of the family, you will be telling about cessation of smoking, where in fact, ganyan. So parang di rin tayo paniwalaan. So things like that. So be careful, and then when you're going to deal with them, we have to respect, may mga, sometimes they have beliefs, they have traditions, which could affect, no, their health practices, and then nagkakaroon ng impact naman ito sa kanilang health. So we have to make use of those theories that we have learned in our TFN, okay, cultural diversity, universality. So pwede natin yung gamitin, no, as we engage, okay, with these various characteristics of the family members or the people in the community. So yan po, tandaan natin. So we respect them, we value them. So they are worthy of our services, our attention, things like that. So hindi kay pobre kaayo diri ta kay ay na kay naugaw kay na sila or unsa ba nila. Okay, so I'm done with this one. Time check, it's 11:23. Are we going to continue na, Ma'am Shari, or we're going to take our lunch muna and be back at 1? What do you think, mga ma'am?
Kung ako lunch at ano. Lipay dahil ba ba?
Sa ano? Ma'am Jack, Ma'am Sha, na ano na yung submission ng reading, like example tomorrow?
We will collect all the readings. Ang readings is handwritten, Ma'am Jack, no? We will collect hard copy tayo on Saturday.
Saturday na.
Yes. Since we are going to have the activity tomorrow, we're going to have the orientation. The CIs are going to have the orientation tomorrow. We'll be giving you an activity tomorrow. Probably the bag technique will be given, and then at the same time we'll be giving you also the topics for the reading, which we expect you to submit on Saturday, because we are not going to meet you tomorrow. Mag-meet mabatag 7 to 9 mo. Mag-meet mabatag 7 to kuan.
Dili na siguro because mag-transport pa
maglagi. Ikuan na siguro.
Palit
Asik na lang sa tanan.
Asig na lang ni sila tomorrow.
Asig na diretso?
Asig na diretso the whole day asig sa tanan.
Attendance.
Naman sila yung output in the afternoon, so yun na yun. If they don't,
ang reading sa collect sa Saturday.
And so, ano nila yung reading aside na i-submit sa Saturday?
I-submit na dahil Saturday ang reading nila.
Pero unsahan man nato pag ano
Ah,
ma'am, pag-check
Ani na lang. If they will,
nagawa sila.
sige lang, mag-ano lang ta. Kung bag technique na video, then they are going to, they will be given a quiz. Pwede.
pwede.
Pertaining to the video. That will be their output also in the afternoon to situate that they really watch the video. Diba, guys? Kaya
Yes.
kung iyo lang mag-watch the video,
Baka
submit
tayo
on
na tagpuan
Saturday.
online na quiz.
Matulog, rani ugma.
Lagi.
Diba? Na naman ang mga PCI din nani. Okay, be ready with our back technique quiz for tomorrow. Okay, guys. Send na mong video and then at the same time, naman tayo copy anis manual. We were going to
Ano na
give
lang?
you the
Bukas na lang din
Pwede.
natin i-send ano man to asa natin i-send sa Quiper. They're going to watch it and then quiz in the afternoon
pwede po.
para
Quick
para di na ta mag-set ng natudaan maski pag
pwede.
ma-delay ta.
Correct.
So we will make a Quiper link tapos ano na lang kayo pasok kayo doon. Quiper for each group na kuan then pasok na lang kayo doon sa bigyan namin kayo ng code ng Quiper para doon na lahat ng
Yeah.
quizzes natin for the bag technique. But of course you're expected to have your hard copy on Saturday with sa reading natin para tapos na yung reading na issue.
Productive sila for the day.
Yes, and at the same
Okay.
time I suggest that you also prepare your what they call this your slides for the reading in case we are going to have the shared reading by next week. Kay virtual man tayo depende sa maging activity for next week. In preparation, we will pick at random. At least mapag-usapan next week that these are diseases na pwede ma-encounter sa area. Maybe we can get some info from there to be used as your health teachings. So you can add that one as part of your presentation.
Sige po. Okay. So with that, we're going to end the morning session. So balik tayo ng 1 in the afternoon.